Alright guys, getting into level 3. We're sticking to levels here. You guys are still looking at all of these videos and really trying to have them resonate with you, have them try to push back into your lifestyle. If you're really trying to educate yourself and getting into your philosophy, getting into your ways of thinking, I applaud you. If not yet, you're still trying to buy in. That little voice on the right side of your head is still saying that this is illogical, that this is a bunch of BS, that this guy doesn't know what he's talking about. Sure, no problem, I understand. However, if you are here still trying, I applaud you. I appreciate what you're doing. Thanks for watching so far. And so level 3 is going to be all about attitude. But I really want to break it down in regards to attitude and how this is going to help you reach that next level in those pieces of life's puzzle. Initially, what I want you to do, and what I've done here, is I took a step back. I looked back and I let the past be a school teacher for my future. And I thought, what the hell have I done in the past 60 days that have allowed me to become a better person, either mentally, spiritually, physically, especially professionally? What have I done? And when I really took a tally, right now, of course, in comparison to when I did back then, specifically in the 2019 area, I thought, one, I'm not learning a damn thing. Anytime I got free time, I'm playing games, I'm chilling. Two, whenever it came to, trying to figure out spiritually, I hadn't touched a Bible, even though I was always touting trying to be as spiritual as possible, in weeks. And 3, professionally, I was doing enough to get by. When I thought about that, I'm like, okay, if I put these specific things of what I was doing into somebody else, how would I judge them? And what I got was simply inadequate, ineffective. And I thought, man, how can I change that? How can I change this thought process, and why is this happening? Whenever I get to that second step, it requires a lot of inner reflection. And if you haven't done inner reflection before, I really implore you. You hear it a lot with a lot of the main brand people who speak about personal development, but writing in your journal literally about your day will help you practice connecting with that inner voice. Because a lot of times we as men, and if you're a woman, I applaud you for watching as well, but we as men and people tend to get out of touch with society's noise. With the noise of our phones, the noise of our lifestyles, the noise of our friends. We are social creatures. And so in order for us to feel like we are in touch, we need to feel like we're informed. I had this issue as well. We are consistently not focusing on silence. And so when you look at more stoic principles, books like Ryan Holiday, where he talks about how people don't realize that the vacation, the island, the place where they can really look outward and be at peace is really whenever they look inward inside of their soul and can be in pure silence and not panic. And there's so many people who haven't tried it, to where they just sit down when usually they would head out to work, or sit down and just be in the total quiet away from their phone and just think, take a few breaths and recollect your thoughts, see where you're at, and understand that you're always on the go. And so when it comes to that reflection, what I want you to do is start writing these things down and understanding, where is my mindset? What have I done in my past that's going to make me better? If it's nothing, be honest. If you're still telling yourself, no, this is not the case, or I'm trying enough, just trust me. Whenever you write these things down, have someone judge it for you. Do you think this person is successful who does this? For yourself, make sure that you do it to your example. And when you get an honest opinion, then you can understand, as long as you don't sugarcoat it, of course, that you can improve upon it. Even a guy who's taking 2 classes a day, had this startup, and still trying to raise his family, how can he improve in those environments? And so commonly, I broke this down. I thought about a couple of guys who I look up to, I respect, and I thought of potential but couldn't reach it. And the guys that had potential were guys who were gifted, athletic, who were very smart, very quick to the point, focused on communication, and yet they were still feeling like something was missing. And then I started talking to guys who had a family, men in their 30s, guys who had stuff figured out, and yet they had a clear difference in how they were thinking. Specifically because those guys were honest with themselves. They had gratitude for their situations. They were blessed at the fact that they had kids, blessed that they had a job that they were secure in, that they could support their family with. They had a different perspective. And so that brings me back into attitude. Our attitude is going to change the way that we think about about our hard work. If you don't have your attitude set up to be ready for those tidal waves of stress, critical situations, and pain, I guarantee you, you will falter, you'll look back at vices, and you'll be back at square one. In order for us to fight, and in order for us to attack that problem, we need to get real with ourselves, start with gratification, and then begin to change our mindset on this hard work and stress. Come to expect it, because people who are forewarned are people who are going to forearm themselves to then be ready for the attack that is coming. You have people who always talk about spiritual warfare. There's a spiritual war going on where you're trying to figure out whether or not you're even in it. The people who don't realize that they're in it are usually the people that are complacent and overlook the fact that there is negativity and it's sin all around us, right? But at the same time, people who understand that spiritual warfare are going to prepare themselves. They're going to say, okay, I'm going to make sure I got my Bible.
If we love you, God, Jesus Christ, so put on armor of God.
After that, those guys are always going to be more prepared for those harder journeys. What I want to focus on is that attitude that you're gonna have in the driver's seat whenever things are getting hard and you got a heavy load behind you is gonna help you get up that mountain. How you can start with that. I've gotten in the comments in the past and people who have talked to me stating, I just don't feel worthy, I don't feel enough. You cannot keep missing the value of your situation. You cannot keep missing the potential that you have in front of you to begin, to start. And in order for you to realize that, you really have those checks and balances and put it into perspective. I really feel like you need to look back at any times that you've had happiness, true happiness, and life's been great. Maybe it's not like that. I understand. Maybe there's sickness going on. Maybe there's poverty going on. But at the same time, you're here trying to improve yourself. That's step one. And you're saying, I'm not enough. But what you're going to realize is that you need to put some research into what self-worth is. Understanding self-worth is the beginning of progress. All you need is progress. Fall in love with the word progress as we go. Because you know what progress means? Progress means you learned. Progress means we're getting somewhere. Progress means you're not giving up. And whenever you have that type of mentality where even if you fail, those failures are going to be repeated until you figure something out and insanity is not going to ensue, then you're going to have that progress. And you're going to fight those battles and you're gonna sprint over that hill one of these days. May not be today, may not be tomorrow, but it will be another day. You see how my attitude is already reflecting and invigorating myself? That is the change that you need to make in your life. Simply putting in that work, adjusting when it's hard, realizing that there's going to be failures and derailment, and you will have progress. It's possible to change from nothing to something. It's possible. Steve Jobs specifically states he was nothing special, right? And then he made Apple. And I know that people bring that up, but you have to have an if he can do it, I can do it attitude. Consistently. If this guy can go fix his diet, then I can do it. Do it. Because that's exactly how I'm thinking. I saw other guys. I was motivated and invigorated to give you this information now. That attitude and that invigoration repeated consistently, like brushing your teeth, is going to get you somewhere. Here's the first steps. You're telling me, okay, got it. I'm ready. I got a good attitude. Good, because we got to act whenever the emotion is strong. Why? Because it fades consistently. It will fade as our minds get interested or disinterested in doing the hard things. Attitude should then be pointed to education. Why? Because whether you're doing real estate, whether you're doing whatever industry you're trying to break into, you need to understand and be an expert at it. And in order for you to do that, you need to pick up the books. You need to look at the YouTube videos, because damn, people are giving so much free information on freaking YouTube in order for you to be better. There is no excuse for you not to just search it up, and there, Reddit, Google, freaking ChatGPT will give it to you on a silver freaking platter for free. It starts with education. So that is where we're going next. So life doesn't start with just inspiration. It starts with education. There is so much value in the tools that you have. One small little i3 computer can get you leagues above the rest. Great, guys. This is number 3. This is attitude, the attitude adjustment. If you got some information that resonated with you, great. Comment, like. I appreciate y'all looking at this and really trying to understand my passion with trying to help others and trying to help you. And I hope that I can hear more from others. Why? Because I was the one that was helped in the past by guys like Jim Rohn, by guys like Bedros Keuilian, family and friends who have continued to invigorate me before or after I was successful. And really focus on that attitude. Let's get to work.